Alright guys, hey, welcome back. Gonna do a part 2 on my Bulging Mage build, just because I've been getting DMs and some comments on it, so maybe this will help shed some light into it. Gonna try to keep this short. First, I'll just throw up here, I didn't cover my Clade gifts, and I think that's just probably my fault. I just overlook it, playing the game for so long. You just kind of think everybody knows, but not everybody does know. So some of these, like, you might be thinking, like, well, why do you have strength? And this character was originally a paladin, and then I converted it into an arcane archer, and now it's like this bulging fat mage that uses pets. And I don't hate having the strength. With that strength, what it does is it does actually help me use like decent little daggers. Now, I'm not gonna go fighting somebody in steel armor or reptile armor even, really. But like if I have to PvE, if I need to shank somebody's horse down, somebody with horse without horse armor, I'm gonna hit for like 30-40 with that dagger, so I can shank it down really quick. Somebody's pet, they put it on me, like anything like that, I can do something. So I think it gives me a little bit more. If you were like, no, I'm never going to do that, then you could go into like more con, more psych. If this is like your only character, you might want the NPC, the 5%, selling and buying. A lot of people do like that. That helps with like your housing. It helps with TC structure. It helps with all this stuff. So, you can go that other way. These, I don't. Some people have these. I don't. These do help you from take less fire damage. That does work against elementals. So, you could argue that as well. But for me, this is the Clade gifts that I like. And I don't ever see myself changing from them unless they like buff one and nerf another or something like that. But pretty much everything I want is here. Pretty much for any build. If I took this human another way, which with the current patch notes on pets, like there's a good chance I might. But we're going to cover it. I have a lot of fun in this build. Here's my stats at the end of the day. And so these are just 2+4 raw int rings. They're not good rings at all, really. You could probably nowadays pick them up for both for less than 1,000 gold, Same thing with my neck piece. It's not great. It just gives me 46 points, into my build, which does help. Currently, I'm just buying Ruber rerollers and rolling them myself in Fab, and then hoping one day I'll get lucky and get my own jewelry, because Mage jewelry is really hard and it's really expensive. Ideally, if I was going to, what I would want is obviously, any necklace that's going to give you the more primary points. I'm looking at Ogmium, Skateite, looking at all of them, because I want to have more action points, basically. That's where I want to be. Some players decide, I'm going to sacrifice action points and I'm going to go for defenses. And that's cool too. I can see how that would work. That would actually work great with the new defense changes on percentages, and it would make this build a lot more tanky. And I've thought about it, and I might do that. I'm still playing with the masteries and seeing how many points I can come up with. And like I said, I'm rolling my own jewelry, so I'm currently, like, you'll see me on the forums, I'm just buying rerollers, selling stuff, buying rerollers, selling stuff, and trying to just siphon through it that way and see if I get lucky and can roll myself a ring. So more attribute points here. I really do want the +4 raw int, because it takes you to that 130, and that 130 is a nice threshold. I will see like a big damage from like, I think if I take them off, I'm like 123 or something, right? So, something like that. Here, just double check. God, 121. But it's like a 10 to like 15 points of like damage depending on the spells and stuff. Like it's crazy. Like my propulsion spells when I'm farming just mobs and stuff, my Ember will go from like hitting 30s to like hitting 40s, and same thing players wise. My like Flame Strike will go from like 60-ish, to like close to 80s, so it's sorry, that's not Flame Strike, that's Fireball. But it is a huge boost, and so I want that. So I want the +4 and I want as much health. I would like health. Some mages want mana. I 250 mana, and once you learn how to play your mage and how to, cycle your shield and dagger out, and when to take off your clothes and when to put your clothes back on, I don't really have a mana issue. And so I just want to be a little bit more tanky. That would put me at 207 health, which is right up there with the Thursar. And then I would keep my damage from my raw int. So that's ideally what I'm looking for. Raw health, or I'm sorry, yeah, just max health, raw int. And then over here, I'm looking for more attribute points. Again, a lot of mages, I know, do like those damage reductions for what I would start with on defenses is I would start with blunt, just because armors overall have less of a blunt value in them. Most of the armors all have higher slash and pierce, so I would probably go blunt percentage. Next one's hard. Between slash and pierce, it's like 50-50 to me. I'll take either one. I don't really care. Spears fuck me up. Arrows fuck me up. Swords fuck me up. So axes fuck me up. So it's like, melee, once people close that gap, I really gotta either hold my own, or I gotta have a peel, or I gotta just know how to when to engage, like how to get away from people. And so sometimes that is, I'll go into that in a little bit. I'll go into like figure eighting around certain things, and then how to get yourself in corners and what you want to do. So here I have a, this is my, what am I doing? Plate scales. Okay, so plate scale silk. This gives me more than like my normal flakestone. If I go like flakestone silk, I get a lot of pierce. This is giving me a lot of pierce. I also have sets where I do plate scales and guard fur or iron fur, and that boosts all those defenses up a lot more. Obviously, it weighs a little bit more, so that brings my passive mana down. This is just kind of like my everyday. I'm going to go like kill outlaws and satyrs, and I might get in a fight, but I might not. I don't, like, right now I'm not carrying a tower shield because, again, like, I might not get in a fight. It's kind of like I'm not looking for a fight. I'm probably just out there farming. And so this is what I normally run for, just like my everyday cruising around. It's not expensive, pretty cheap. You're gonna survive pretty easily against most things. But going forward, let's see here. So we got clay gifts covered, we got jewelry covered, and what I'm looking at, kind of my everyday gear. Let's go into mastery. That's a huge one. Okay, so currently what I'm doing in mastery, and this is like up to you. Obviously, this is like really player, like you're gonna make that decision. Preference. That's the word. So right here, obviously, I think any spellcaster, you have to go with this chance to ignore spell interrupt. Like, that is mandatory. That has to be your first ones, just because it is huge. Right now concentration is broken, but there's already been a thing out that they know, and they're working on fixing it. Before, it swung the other way, where concentration, like with that, you were at like 100% not able to be interrupted, which sounds really OP, but really it isn't. Like, you gotta think, like, it takes like a dude with a Incisium Maul to like hit me like 4 times and I'm dead. So I really don't feel like it's that hard, because like the 4 times he hits me, I'm gonna like get 2 casts off, so it's really not that bad in my opinion. But get this, so when it does get fixed, you should be at like 80% concentration with full con, and then this. So right now it's really bad. If somebody puts a corrupt on a mage, like, it feels like it's like 50-50 maybe I'm gonna get interrupted by like a spell that takes 2 seconds to cast and no mana. For sure, mobs are hitting me, arrows are hitting me. Like, it just, right now, mage feels really bad with the concentration and stuff. After this, I went up my ecumenical tree. So I did spell power, and then I did ecumenical, mostly because I do a lot of smaller scale fighting, and just like solo stuff. You could go into elementalism. I have elementalism in this build, so you could. I feel like elementalism is really strong, so I didn't need those points right out the gate. And I don't even know if I'm gonna go into that. Like that might be like very last thing I go into, just because that's how I feel about elementalism. What I am working up is right now I'm trying to get action points. So I'm working my way up this action tree, and then I'll work this way in this action tree. I also did the intelligence here, which is this is probably the first one I did. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do this one first, then this one. Just depends. Like that, the Clade goes so quick down here. Where I'm at that I pretty much instantly maxed that one out. And then this one as well, because those first like 10 levels is like nothing. Once I get my action points, and I don't even think like I'll adjust things around in here, I'll be able to use necromancy up to like death hand and crawling hands, which is where I want to be on it. I'll be able to do the necro I want, have full elementalism, have full ecumenical. And so that's where I'm at on this. So, you know, you can play this however you want. After that, you know, in the magic tree, do the minimum mana regen before anything else. You want minimum mana regen first. God, where'd it go? Mana? This one minimum? This one's minimum. Okay. Yeah, you want to get those minimum mana regens first, because those are going to affect you the most. And then, honestly, depending on how you're feeling and how you're playing, I'm probably going to skip the mana ones, because I don't feel like it affects enough from what I've seen. And then I'm probably going to go into probably the defenses. I don't really the war cries and stuff. Yeah, no, not really affecting me at all. So yeah, I'm probably going to go into con and then just bump that health up, just overall con. And probably raw health. I'll probably go con to raw health, because that's what that's going to get me. Is like, yes, the physical resistances is nice, but this is like getting you just more survivability from everything. So magic, you know, pierce, blunt, slash, all of that stuff. AI, like it's just having more health is going to get you to survive faster. So I think that's where I'm at on these. I hate doing mastery. I hate farming. That's why, like, when the mastery system came out, it's kind of disappointing me. So I took like a month and a half off. So I'm definitely behind on the ball here. But I'll get back up there, and I'll hopefully get it done the way I want to before I take a break again. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump into some clips and just kind of go over the way I play it. And I'm really bad about clipping some of my own PvP, but luckily I've got other mages that I know, and I'll probably clip some of theirs in here. You've probably seen them in other videos and stuff, but yeah, I'm going to pull from that. So we'll jump into that real quick. Quickly, guys, before I jump into those PvP videos, I do want to note that this build is 100% not possible without the fact that I have a second account literally running constantly, leveling pets for me. Now this might change in the next patch. We'll see how it goes. I don't predict it getting any better. If anything, I predict it getting worse. But every single one of these pets, I did not raise myself. I do not have the animal care on this character to do so. So that being said, like if it gets worse, there's a chance that I'm not going to be playing with pets anymore, just because they just keep getting worse and worse. So I should note that if this is something you're looking at as your first time playing, then it is not worth it, in my opinion. You have to have a second account, and to put that into perspective, as far as hours that go into these, these tour dogs, because of where I'm at, depending on where you are on the map, they could be closer to you. But let's say it takes me 30, 45 minutes to go get them. I get 2 of them each one roughly takes 3-ish hours to get from level, it just depends, what level, all the way up to 125, 3 to 4 hours. So 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, all of these, and that's 3 to 4 hours of standing still, not doing anything, because right now I can ride them, I can spurt them while they're in defensive on my other account, and they'll just sit there and level, and that's all that character does. And so that being said, like, that is just, if you had one account, like, that'd be 3 or 4 hours of you not even playing the game if I wanted to sit here and do that. Not to mention pet armor is really bad right now. So pet armor is borderline fucking useless. My pet, for instance, got shocked. A little shock like that fast of a cast did 182 damage. Yeah, 182 damage. No, I'm sorry, 192 damage. It did 108 and 108 and 84 to me, right? So that's 190. It's a lot of fucking damage, is all I'm saying. Granted, my black bear has 600 fucking health, but a 1 second, 2 second cast, whatever the fuck shock is, should not do that much fucking damage to it. Spear, swords, axes, cleave them. All of them are pretty much hitting my animals in like good fucking pet armor from 60 up to like 100 plus. So again, be sure that, like, if you're looking at this build, that this is not your first and only character. I could not recommend this to you. This is a very fun build for me, but it requires me to run a second account and do that. But that in mind, let's jump into some of these situations that I've got pulled up and kind of explain to you my thought process on it and everything. All right, guys, we're gonna start this out, and that's not gonna work. Cool. So here's like basically everything not to do. Okay, and somehow I lived. I got extremely lucky today. I had great teammates. So here we are building a house. There is just beyond this, you'll see a bunch of guys on another house that's pretty much connected to this house. They're gonna come in here and raid us. It ended up us winning the fight, but there was a lot of mistakes on my part. But I'll briefly go over those. So right here, what I'm trying to do is grab that, gravity snare them off. But 2 gravity snares takes away my complete mana. Now I'm fucked. If they came over that wall, I've got 11 mana. I've got fucking nothing going on. So here I am. I'm gonna go sit down. I make sure I don't have my shield on, but I'm gonna go take off this. For some reason, a helmet does grab a lot of mana, so I decided to take that off. Fairly getting back into the game after like a month and a half off, so made a lot of mistakes here. They're coming. I know I'm getting ready, so I'm trying to make sure that we're trying to build, and I want to get this house on roof on so that they can't jump in, but it's not going well. So anyways, we're getting ready. They come in. Mages run down. Footies are fighting up top. Basically, the plan is like footies get low. They come down with miasmad, so they're just getting fucked up inside of it. Our guys are getting fucked up, but that's okay. We're going to take that risk. So right here is here's basically what I want to highlight is don't use your mana, and then this right here is where I get sticky backed, basically. This is going to happen as a mage. This is going to happen a lot. And if you have the right stuff on, then you're going to be okay. So I run down here. I'm healing him because he's calling for him. Boom. I know I got a guy on my back, so I'm running. I'm like, peel, peel, peel. Basically, I want to run into this corner using the shield on my back. Mind you, I forgot that I don't even have a shield on my back, but still the running over here did help peel for me. And just sat here, got some more heals off and stuff. So what kind of goes into is you want to use your shield, you want to use your terrain around you as a mage in these situations. If I get in that corner good enough, there's a chance if he left or rights, he's going to hit that wall. If he does hit, he's going to hit the shield. It's going to take the equipment hit into it, and it's going to help me just live a little bit longer. It's like a crazy lightning bolt. But yeah, that's the whole thought process here. Don't use all your mana before a fight like I did on 2 grav snares that didn't do anything. And then also, make sure that you have your right stuff equipped, because I had my shield and stuff in my inventory instead of like on my quick swap. So bad plays all around. Later on in the video, I get like shot in the head for like 137 damage or something because again, I took my helmet off, and yeah, it's like right here. I'm like, heal. Let me get a. Everything's going good. Let me get a thunder shock. That's the thing, is if you're don't know what to do, get a T-Lash ready. He sees me, boom, hits me 137 in the head. I barely live 5 fucking health. Again, luck. So yeah, a lot of bad plays there. Learn from my mistakes. Keep your helmet on. Take your legs. Take your arms off. Put your shield on your quick swap. Use your corners like I did. And then, like I said, in your downtime, if you're not sure on heals, if you're not sure what needs to be, charge. I like to either charge a T-Lash, pretty much. I like to holster that, or I will have a greater heal. One or the other. Mostly, I believe T-Lash is kind of like my go-to, because I know my guys are running potions, and I believe in their parry abilities. Let's jump into the next one. Let's see here. Is it this one? Nope. Let's go back here real quick. Oh, right here. Okay, so yeah, so this is I'm sitting around in camp looking at, I don't know, quests or something. Level 14 health. He cleaves through it. Boom. I'm pretty much fucked right here. I got no armor on. I got lucky. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna pause. And I thought I was going to have a better video for this from the other day, but I forgot to clip it. I'm really bad about this. Basically, these vendors are going to have their own hitbox. So my idea is, if I'm close to something like this, I'm going to figure 8 around it, and stick my pet on them, figure 8 around them, and maybe my allies will be able to get me something, or I can walk and get a T-Lash up. I can figure out try to come up with a game plan. Right here, I don't. I'm gonna run around these guys, and I'm gonna try. I'm looking for a corner, and I'm like, fuck, I know this corner right here because this door sticks out. So I know this fucking corner because I fought in here a million times. And I know that bench over here create like this little nook for me to fucking get in. So I T-Lash him. This guy's literally just throwing pokes. I don't think he lands one fucking poke. I T-Lash the horse. He life steals off that horse, which was good. And so I come back, another T-Lash. I get back in here. So he comes to swing. He can't. He knows that poke is coming. He's going to parry it. He's swinging again. He's hitting everything but me. And he's obviously panicking because he's got 2 guys, so he doesn't throw the overhead and kill me. But that is just the difference. Do not panic. Look around your terrain. Like I said, you can use the hitbox from like other things, mobs, other players, those vendors all have a hitbox. The walls, the walls in this door obviously have a hitbox. So just be mindful of those things. As a mage, they're going to save your life. Yeah, try not to panic. And the last one isn't mine. We're going to go to this here. And this is big on this build because Earthquake is a huge part of it. That's why you have 100 Ecumenical. If you don't think you use Earthquake enough, then get rid of it. Get down to Flame Strike, drop the points. You don't need it. And at a point, I thought about doing that, but the more I use Earthquake, the better I get with it. It is a very good spell offensively and defensively. So Earthquake, you're getting chased. You can blast somebody off your horse. You can fucking get away. You are going to engage somebody. They're getting away. You need your team to catch up. I've dismounted multiple people with an Earthquake. Had my team catch up and be able to kill them. The big thing with Earthquake is, keep in mind, is it AoE, and if you hurt yourself and your mount is going to take loyalty damage, about 400 points. So if you have a bear, if you have a Taurodog, if you had Jaguar, anything, whatever you have, and you don't have 400 loyalty, it's going to turn on you. Now it's going to be pissed off at you. So keep that in mind, when to use it and when not to use it. Right here, she does really good. She knows it's a mounted archer. She knows that pretty much this person's build without that fucking mount is useless. So what she does here is she turns. She's got that Earthquake. Boom, blast him. Now she hit herself, but not that much damage. She's got Psych. She knows he's one hit. She can see that. She's going to charge another one because here's the thing. Can she one hit him with pretty much any fucking thing else in her arsenal? Absolutely. Pretty much he is one hittable. But the thing about Earthquake is it is a AoE. So she knows that this horse is a big fucking hitbox, and while the horse might not die, him sitting on the fucking horse, that AoE will kill him. So what she's gonna do is just kind of trace him, just following him. She's got that charge, plenty of time. If he goes back for that horse like he wants to, because he is a mounted build and that's all he fucking has is that mount and that bow, um, he's fucked either way. He's just all around fucked. He got outplayed here. And that's how you want to play it. If she had a battle pet, she had a Tour Dog, she would have sicked it on him. If she had a bear, any battle pet, so would have gone right on the enemy. They'd have been fucked too. So charge up that. Don't be looking at um, don't be looking to get like a lesser mana or lesser like reagent or longer strike. Like I said, she could have used any of her stuff here to kill him, but the earthquake was 100% the right call there. That's where she went, and that's can't get any better than that. That is like textbook. All right. And I think next I'll kind of talk about my rotation and how I've changed it around with this build. All right, guys. Last part of this is I'm going to talk about my rotation a little bit. So this is with ecumenical and elementalism. Keep in mind, I don't have necromancy. Would change a lot with it, and I look forward to adding that hopefully soon. But yeah, so number one, Outburst is pretty much my go-to because of the range on it. That's how I open. I know with my health pool that if I take a spell reflect from it, it's fine. I can eat it and be okay and get a health back before they get close and take away their shield. And I it has a lot longer range than Spurt. So I pretty much open with Outburst over Spurt. In majority of my fights. There's situations where like I don't have the mana. Spurt's obviously more mana efficient. My Spurt still hits people for like 10 fucking damage when it hits, so it's not completely like it's not just like one damage or a shield remover. It's not like that. Now, if they are super, super far away, I will use things like Ember. If there's like big crowds of them and I want to remove those shields, like this thing goes for fucking ever, I will throw some Embers out there just to see if I can get lucky and take away some magic reflect shields. When it gets down to it, people use fulmination a lot. I don't like fulmination anymore. I had a bad habit of always using it. Against good players, your fulmination will not go off. You're fighting good guilds with potions and things. They're gonna have a purified potion. They're not even gonna need to. They're not even gonna need to get purified from their mage, and they're not. They're not even gonna have to worry about a third star running around purifying himself, which is pretty common. So those fulminations, that's just a waste of 30 mana. That 30 mana is the same as a T-Lash, and my T-Lash is like within 1 or 2 points of damage as my fulmination. So I get that direct damage from T-Lash. So I pretty much always have a Thunderlash cocked and ready. Might have a Flame Strike. If I have full mana, I'm gonna load a fucking Flame Strike. If I know they don't have mages with them, and I'm like, there's no way this footy, like, if I could tell, like, it's a Thursar, so I know he's not like a paladin build, something like that. I know he's not going to have that shield. I will go right for the Flame Strike. More mana efficient, little smaller engages. I'm going to T-Lash, so this way I can still heal my team. If there's multiple targets, if they're riding a mount by me and I can get a shock off, it's going to bounce between them all. It's going to do damage to both of them a lot more. So I keep shock ready to go. But my rotation normally is if I got full health, let's say, and I go and I want to go in like on a foot thing here, I'm going to, Flame Strike, probably Corrupt. Corrupt is huge. I spread that thing around like cancer. I throw it on mages. It interrupts mages. You throw it on archers. It fucks with their camera. It fucks with everybody. It's good. it's not just used against like Thursars and stopping their passive healing and shit like that, or like, don't wait till the end to use it. It lasts a while. It makes people take damage. They can hear it. They see the ticking, even though it's not a lot of damage. They know that they can't get healed, so now they're kind of in a panic. They can't bandage, things like that. So I might, open. Let's say rotation goes. I open with outburst to remove a shield. Let's say I eat that. That's fine. As I'm closing the distance, I'm going to lesser heal myself. I'm going to load a either Flame Strike or Thunder Shock, or Thunder Lash, depending on the situation. I'm going to hit them heavy with one of those, and then I'm going to follow up with a Corrupt. Reason I don't do Corrupt first is I want them to take damage so that they're worried about their health. They're thinking about their bandaging. They're thinking about whatever. And then I'm going to hit them with the Corrupt. So if I hit them with the Corrupt, they're now closing. They haven't taken a lot of damage. They know Corrupt's not going to take a damage. They're going to keep closing that gap, and they're going to get hits on me. Now, if I can make them hesitate about closing that gap and not getting close until they get health back with either a T-Lash or a Flame Strike, it's great for me because I can now, like, I'm just kind of dictating it, okay? Like, I know where they're going to go. They're going to bandage. Okay, great. That bandage isn't going to do anything. They've popped their bandage. My corrupt lasts twice as long. They're going to have to cleanse that. While they're trying to get their cleanse, I'm going to hit them with I'm going to hit them with another T-Lash. If I see them cleansing, I'll just pop another corrupt. I'll see them charging that. It looks just like a heal, and if you see a footy doing that, he's not throwing a lesser heal. That lesser heal is not going to do anything. He's trying to purify himself. So what do? He's going to purify himself? Fuck him. I put another corrupt right back on him. Okay? And then I just followed up with more outbursts. If he's trying to move away, trying to get away from me, more outbursts, outbursts, outbursts. As they get closer, if they get too close, if there's more than one target, shock, more T-lashes. You want those kinds of things. You don't want to be out of spot. Elementalism is cool. Fireball is great. You can do a fireball in a one-on-one. I try not to use elementalism anymore in team fights. Yes, I do have the Clade for it. I do have Tactician. Yes, that did get nerfed. So it's still helpful, but I try not to be that person that's just fireballing my guys in the back, because elementalism, it just seems like if you're casting it, your team's going to run it in front of you. But yeah, that's pretty much my rotation is sticking to ecumenical. It's direct damage. It's hit scan. Not a whole lot of chance there in it. So hopefully that helps you guys kind of understand my thought process on what I do. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.